Okay, let's do this then, shall we? I'm not going to start the jingle. I'm just going to go into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No jingle. Gonna put it in afterwards. Nah.
I'll do it now.
No need. I said no. I said no. I actually said no. He said, "Do you want it?" No. Okay, I'll put it on.
The year's gone. When Ian rides his cool, while John looks like a fool. Ian's jumping logs. Oh no, John's fallen off again. 1,000 miles made history, and that explains the mystery of how the Unipod podcast all began.
Hey, Ian. Hello. Welcome everyone to the Ian and John Unipod podcast. We're broadcasting not live. We're recording this on Monday the 28th of February. I'm in Milton Keynes. Ian, you're in the Forest of Dean. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
What's going on in your world, your
It's
sphere?
raining.
Hey, listen,
Can you believe it?
Well, I can believe it because we live in the UK. It rains about.
Yeah.
It seems to rain all the time at the moment. It's been a wet last few weeks. Getting out on the road on the wheels has been
Easy, because they've got wheels that can go in the rain.
Yeah, well,
Especially the V12, and I'll be on the S20. In fact, I've been out this evening on the S20 to a meeting, and then back again. Almost 9 miles there, 9 miles back, in it absolutely torrential rain. So
I went out on the V12 today in the drizzle. Did enjoy it. It's cold, and I don't like. Why would you go out when it's raining? Anyway, before we go any further,
because you need to get the miles on it.
I do, yeah. Before we go any further, let's just, if you don't mind, just take a moment to acknowledge that while we're having a bit of a laugh and a giggle about EUCs, there are bigger things happening in the world at the moment. Yeah, they are. For turning your TV, specifically the events in the Ukraine.
I've got a TV licence.
Well, you're too tight. You're probably sponging off your mum and dad. You've got your own internet.
No, I borrowed a neighbour's. Plugged into their Wi-Fi.
My dad did that for years.
Did he?
Yeah, he moved into a place and he didn't have his own internet, and so the neighbour said to him, well, you can just you borrow ours for a while until you get yours sorted out.
5 minutes, kind of thing, 5 or 10 minutes. Get yourself set up.
He sponged off them for about 2.5 years. they eventually moved and left. So we're having a laugh and a joke, but just to acknowledge there are really serious things taking place. So our thoughts are with people out in the Ukraine and surrounding areas. Just it looks, every time we turn on the TV, it looks really grim out there. I don't know if we've got any listeners out in the Ukraine.
We know we
could have
haven't.
stopped that.
So why would you say that? Because you've got one listener that lives in Australia.
I could have said, just stop that sentence. I don't know if we've got any listeners. But if there are any, I don't know. I'm not seeing much online about Ukrainian EUC riders. If it's a thing out there, I don't know. You know customers out there, Ian?
Oh, that's a question, is it?
It is, yeah. Have you shipped out to the Ukraine?
Oh, let me check.
Oh, he's in. I ask him a question, and he immediately logs onto his work computer. I tell you, we did get into a conversation last time about a guy called Jason Harris. He was the one that gave us the Readers' Lives content last week. And he, as I said, in fact, it was his wife that said to him, make sure you tell John that he actually bought his V10F from Speedy Feet. And that you shipped it all the way to Australia.
Did I?
Yeah. It arrived safe and sound, and since then it's put 2,700 kilometres on it.
Yes, 4 customers.
In the Ukraine?
Yeah.
So there are
2017, 2018, 2019, and guess what?
None since then.
2020.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, so...
I didn't think that was a difficult question, to be honest. I think you failed at that one. So it's like, got 4 customers, 2017, 18, 19, guess what? None since then. That's 3.
I'm a bit thick with stabby stuff. Yeah, but...
None since then. There's 4. Let's do it again. Got 4 customers in Ukraine. 2017, 18, 19, and guess what comes next? None.
I'll edit that out.
Yeah.
I'll come across as
get
genius.
rid of that. Don't need that. No need.
So listen, Ukrainian listeners and riders, our thoughts are with you in all seriousness. But you know, we're going to battle on. It seems like the world is running out of reasons to laugh and joke, but that's no reason why you shouldn't laugh and joke. So we're going to have a bit of fun tonight. Yeah, we're just thinking of you guys out there.
Oh, Australia, loads of customers.
Yeah, well, this guy was one of them, and he's very happy with his VTF. 2,700 kilometres on a V10F. That's good going, isn't it? That's decent riding.
It is, yeah. What's his first name, sorry?
His first name was Jason. Don't read out his details. Don't use it.
Wonder what year. I got it, yeah.
His name's Jason every year.
Let's have a little look.
Jingle
Yeah,
on
I got it.
So we had a request coming for me to do a jingle in a certain style. This was from Fod Rocks, Forest of Dean Rocks. He says, this person says, I love the jingles. Loves the jingles, this person. This is a person of extreme quality and taste. She says, you two crack me up. Can you make a jingle to the tune of Airwolf, The Littlest Hobo, Care Bears, Muppet Babies, Fraggle Rock, or Balamory? Which
All
one
mixed together?
No, just either or of them. So which do you want?
Balamory you went for.
Why do you think
Balamory.
that? Because it's the one I could play.
I just think it's. I'm taking a complete guess out of about 8 different tunes, and I think you've gone Balamory.
Yeah, for people that don't know, Balamory was a children's program in the UK. Finished probably about 10 years ago, 20 years ago maybe. But it was a kids show aimed
So
at
what did you go
preschool.
for?
Balamory, here we go.
Brilliant. Should have been a quiz, shouldn't it? 8 out of 8. I got it right.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
What's the story in readers' lives? Wouldn't you like to know? Will it be boring or will it be fun?
Boring.
It's a sketchy part of the show. Tell us your tale and Ian and John will rip it all apart. Readers' lives. What's the story in readers' lives? I hope it's interesting.
No.
Will it be a regular feature
No,
or thrown
hopefully not.
into the bin?
Bin.
Thank you. So, I'm going to tell you the story of a guy called Jez Fraser.
I like Jez Fraser, yeah.
You know Jez. So if you've got a story, and it could be something that's happened to you when you've been out riding, or a funny experience, or your worst crash, or silliest accident, anything like that, then please share it, and we would love to hear your stories and have a little chat about it on the show. This is a guy called Jez Fraser. Now, Jez Fraser has told me about his accident that he had while riding his M103. Jez only been riding for about a couple of years. I should have the tune, that bed of music that used to be on the Simon Mayo. Was it Simon Mayo show?
Oh yes, yeah. No, it's a sad song. Yeah.
Yeah, sad song. So he
you
was.
can do that in edit. You don't need to mention it. You just do it in edit.
Okay, cut. We'll do that again. So this is
Yeah.
Jez. Now, Jez is been riding for about 2 or 3 years now, and he's got quite a collection of wheels already. One of those things where you buy one wheel and it's like starting an appetite for more wheels. And he's got a collection. He's got a variety of beautiful-looking wheels, but he was riding his M103. Now, he has got a few children, but he was racing against his teenage son. And Jez was racing in a sensible location. He was racing inside the house. So Jez decided to set up a track riding M103s around the house. And he's got one of those houses
Well, that's
where
what the government says you should do.
on your own property with
Yes.
the property owner's
Correct.
permission. Yes, so this is sensible. So he's got one of those houses where you can actually do a circuit in the house. You can go through one door and then into the living room, into the dining room, back into the kitchen. That comes through in a loop and back into where he started, and then made this kind of Formula One track around the house. And they were racing around with M103s. Now, I don't know if you could do that on other wheels, but the M103 was made for this kind of silliness. Unfortunately, it all went a bit wrong for Jez because Jez careered off his wheel and a tight bend in the corner on the line of floor.
Did he name the corners?
He should have done, shouldn't he? But this was going to be called something painful because he went into the washing machine and he broke his ankle or dislocated his foot so that his foot was kind of flopping out of its socket by whacking it into the corner of the washing machine.
Cool, lovely.
So, have you ever come across anything like that? I think we talked about Ring Pull Man and his the time he lost his arm.
Yeah.
That came up.
Yeah.
But what's the silliest thing you've ever heard anyone doing with a unicycle?
Me?
Yeah. What's the silliest thing you've come across to me?
Coming off down a hill when the battery was fully charged.
You've told that story so many times. That was me, though. Yeah, that's when I ripped the bottom out of my trousers.
Oh, it was you. I wasn't going to mention who it was. I wasn't going to say it was you. Coming off, brand new monster. Coming off up a little slope. Scraping it
that's
all
painful.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember the paint coming off and there was blue marks on the rocks.
Yeah, I remember that as
There's
well.
that one. No, that was pretty stupid.
What about
other
that plank? The plank we went across, that was a bit stupid.
Plank, yeah. Got a video of that, in fact.
Yeah.
In slow motion with out of tune Titanic theme. As
Any
John's
stories that don't
wheel.
involve me?
No. Not an answer to that question.
Can we just tell the story again? Because this, I think it's worth hearing, and it never made it to air, about the time in Scotland when we visited the cafe where I tried to recharge our wheels. Now, to paint the picture, this is on 1,000 miles.
Is this the one where you burnt the wood inside the restaurant by picking up your wheel, and I was like in the background going, no, and you put it down?
No.
And burnt? No.
No.
Was that the one where you cut his shed in half?
Yeah. So
that one, not the one in the motorway services where you ripped through the carpet and the wall. No. So the one in the shed, yeah, okay, carry on it.
Which I think was all on the same day.
It's really hard. We're only away for a few days, but there's so many things. I have to go through the list just to make sure which one we're talking about. Yeah.
So we were in Scotland, and we were doing about 112 miles, 120 miles that day on our Monsters. And we had to, therefore, charge it up 2 or 3 times in the day to make sure it would do that distance. So we'd go for so far, we'd find a cafe, we'd stop and have a bite to eat, and we'd charge up the wheels. So you need to find somewhere that's willing to take you. And we stopped in this beautiful Scottish village in the middle of nowhere. And it was very picturesque, and there was a little cafe there it was quite a nice day, and there were people sitting outside. It was quite a busy place, and as we arrived, I would usually for some reason be the one that would go in and negotiate to get in the free charge from people, and you'd taken a work call, and you were stood at the top of the drive waiting patiently for me to go and do my magic
On a bridge, nice picturesque bridge.
And so I asked
looking at a babbling brook underneath. People sat out there in the sunshine, enjoying themselves. Me on a babbling brook, on a nice bridge.
Yeah.
It
was very picturesque, very quiet. And then, so I'd asked this guy, I said, do you mind if we do this ride for charity? And are we okay if we come and have a bite to eat? And is it okay if we just plug these unicycles in and charge them up? And he said, yeah, that's fine. But the only place you can charge them is, what about in my shed? This was a shed, like an outhouse building that was where he kept all his freezers, all his produce, his fridges stuff, so the extra food stuff for his business was out in this secure shed. So he
needed to operate, the business he needed to operate to make money.
Yeah. Kept all his.
You've got to help out though when it's a charitable event. You've got to help the guys out, haven't you? They can't do any harm. What harm could they do?
So I went to the shed, and there's no kill switches on these wheels. And I think I was just going to kind of run it up at speed into the shed, but kind of picked up the wheel a bit too soon. And it
Again.
The tyre span. It went off. It was like a sawmill. It went full speed. It hit to the edge of the shed.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall at that point. I really do. They would be brilliant.
It hit the floor of the shed.
It's like you come running around the corner, and you're like, I think you were doing that. Like, when they say cut the mic, you were like, no. I was like, what's going on? I'm really sorry, I have to go. Something's happened. Hang out, come running around the corner, and you're like, look, what's happened? I've saw through a shed. Like a piece of wood. You go, that's off his shed, that is. I went, oh my goodness. And then the guy comes out. And he goes, you right, guys? And we're like, And he goes, you've broken my shed. You've broken my shed. And you were kind of like, have I? And he said, look, it's a piece of wood. And I went, game's up, boys. So I was thinking in my head, game's up. And I said, how much do you want us to pay to repair your shed? And we agreed on £20, and I had to pay him £20 out of my wallet, and then we left quite quickly. Never did get a charge or anything to eat. So yeah,
there was bits of wood
liability,
everywhere.
Absolute liability. I could have done that trip in about 5 days.
Right, well that's it. Thank you. That's it for Readers' Lives. What's the story in Readers' Lives? Wouldn't you like to know? Will it be boring or will it be fun? It's a sketchy part of the show. Tell us your tale and Ian and John will rip it all apart. Readers' readers' lives. What's the story in readers' lives? I hope it's interesting. Will it be a regular feature or thrown into the bin? So we would like to hear from you. If you've got examples that you'd like to share on the show, then please email us at ianandjohnpodcast@gmail.com, or just add some comments below and tell us your story in the comments below and we'll share it on air. That's great. Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you for your interest there. Right. Also, as I was saying, I was inviting people to come and send me a jingle. So the idea is, you've heard my jingles. It's not a lot to compete with. Just if you've got a bit of musical talent, then just play me a song, a little jingle. As long as it's not too offensive, then I'm sure we'll play it. And
not offensive at all would be good.
Not offensive at all would be brilliant. So this is a reader's jingle. Here we go.
Hi, this is Wrong Way. John has forced me to do a jingle for the podcast.
Forced you, brilliant. Like
I'll
it.
still do a pro version, John, believe me, but for now, here it is. La 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 do 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 podcast, yeah yeah do 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 hey John do 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 do
Bit of scatting.
do do a monopodic show, yeah do 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 no Unipod
Yeah. So that's Wrong Way. You're a big fan of the show. When he said I'd forced him to do it, I don't believe that.
It's true.
He was
Definitely true.
He was quite willing to do it.
In fact, probably paid him. So transfer some money by PayPal friends and family.
Yeah, so if you want to just sing a jingle or something, obviously that was Wrong Way. They did that very kindly for me. So you can send that as an attachment to the email address, which is written below or in the details. So please do send us some jingles. I would love to hear your talents displayed on the airwaves. Okay, Ian, can you just tell us more about the S20? Because you have finally got your sticky little hands on one. And you've been riding it, and you've been kind of trying to smash it to pieces from what I've seen of it. But you've got an early production model of it, so it's not kind of the finished effect. And they gave you a long list of things to look out for, I believe, didn't they, in terms of what to do and how to treat this early model?
Did
they? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, tell us all about it. Well, I kind of explained it all in the videos, haven't I, really? So go and watch the videos. Speedy Feet YouTube channel.
I'll put a link to it up above here on the YouTube so people can see to it. Yeah. And I might even overlay some footage while we're talking now of you riding it and stuff.
Buy it here. Buy it here.
But a lot of hype around this wheel. Is it living up to the hype? Is it a wheel that you're thinking?
It is an amazing wheel to ride. It's just the range for me. Same again, really. So lowest I got is 27 miles.
I saw that, yeah.
Out of it.
A lot of people commenting on
pummeling it.
Yeah.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. One evening, I spent over 2 hours replying to some comments. I've stopped doing it now. I've given it. But yeah, no, mega. I mean, that's the funny thing is what I'm going to do is when the other S20s come in, the actual ones, I'm going to take another one out. I'm going to show you can do 27 miles on it. Oh, here we go. John's rubbing his hands. That's actually what I'm going to do to prove that you can smash the mileage on a wheel. People just do not have it. They say, everyone else getting 60 miles on it. I feel like going, right, ship it over to me. I'll do sub 30 miles on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but you definitely can. It's like the S18, the lowest I ever got. And I'm saying approximately 20 on the comments, but the lowest I got was 18 miles, which is ridiculous. That's if you absolutely cane the thing. Of course, it's not down to 0%. It's like this one. It's not down to 0%. It's down to about 20. Well, except for one of the 27 miles I got recently, because I caned it all the way up as I possibly could. And then the app was showing whatever it was, 17%, but it wasn't. It was basically close to zero. But there's disparity between the soft tuner app and the actual app that most people will use. So that's a bit of a... But again, it's context, and people don't seem to realise that at all. they almost think I'm doing it a disservice. It's like the worst you're going to get, the absolute worst, is 27 miles. Almost everybody's going to get 40 miles, 30, 40 miles, something like that. Because you're talking forest trails. So I did 15 miles on the road, just flat out.
Yeah.
Just solid for 15 miles, didn't stop.
Yeah.
And then turned off in some woodland and thought I'll do the next 15 miles off-road. And it turned out to be substantially less than that. So the first one, everyone was going, oh my goodness, only 29 miles. And then I managed to get to 27 by pushing it even harder. So, yeah, you can rip through battery really, really easy. Exactly the same as an electric car. If you go along in a car, that Tesla I hired out, that Model S, pin it along the motorway, and it just goes do 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 do. You can see it dropping down the range. It's like, oh wow, I won't do very far on this, am I?
Yeah.
But it's not, because it's a 300-miler car. But it's not if you pin it. Just massive losses at a certain speed. So it's like if you're doing 50 kilometers an hour, you'll do loads more miles than if you're doing 60. So that 10 kilometers difference is just vast. It just depletes the battery really quick on almost any wheel. So Marty commented, because actually across the range of wheels, it's consistent.
Yep.
I get, because the comment is I always get low mileage, as if that's like a throwaway insult. It's not to me at all. I think, well, if I'm always getting low mileage, doing something right, I'm doing something consistent all the time. It sort of shows a scientific approach. If I'm always getting low mileage, my wheel's not faulty, and I'm not having to go at this one wheel, it's happening to all the wheels I ride, really low mileage.
So what do you put that down to? Is that because other people don't kind of ride it in the same
I
kind
think they're
of...
smashing it. I really don't think they are.
No.
Really don't. And for instance, people might think they're going really, really fast, for example, in a test, but they've slowed down for 5 miles of their thing. I mean, like where we are, there's nothing, rural area, nothing. If you want to, you can go a route that you'll never meet anybody or anything, and you just don't stop.
Yeah.
It's just constant flying until it runs out, which is what happened that day. So 27 miles just didn't stop.
When we did the race that I raced you against, you were driving your Honda and I was on the Sherman. And it was,
you just killed the battery. Yeah.
It was about a 30-mile journey. When I got there, it was nearly empty. And somebody commented in below saying, "Well, if somebody knew how to ride that wheel, they'd have beaten the car." And because I was stopping on the way and doing bits of filming and ringing you and and setting camera positions up and doing artistic things with it, you beat me. But I was pinging it, and I didn't slow down. If I was on it, I was on it. I only stopped.
It just falls away. The battery just disappears.
For a wheel I know that wheel can do 65 miles if you're nursing it a bit. I did about 40 on it, and I was quite surprised about how badly. But so you're right. If you're going flat out on it, it's going to just drain that power. So I guess. I mean,
I'd be dubious if someone's saying they're pinning it and they're getting 60. I'd be incredibly dubious because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't, because only whatever it is, 2,200 watt hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not massive. It's not like it's a 3,500 watt hour machine. Oh, that's really weird. You're getting 27 miles. It's like, no, it seems about right. 2,200 watt hours seems about right. The 18 XL, 1,500 watt hours. It's not massively more than that, and that sits about right. But like on the 18 XL, you can get loads of miles out of it. But if you pin it, you won't.
Yeah. No.
So I don't see the point in doing the. Go.
Well, no, I did an experiment on the 18XL where I did it flat out from here to Banbury and back and got about 50 miles out of it. And then I went on just on a circuit, went round and round in a circle, in a flat circle, for about 4.5, 5, 6 hours in the end or something like that. And I didn't go above 15 miles.
Busy man?
Busy man. No, I woke up, it was a summer's morning. I woke up at about 5 o'clock in the morning because this was basically around a children's playground. I was doing it. And so I rode around in a circle at about 14, 15 miles an hour. Constant speed all the way around, and got something like 65 miles out of it. So I got about 15 miles more out of it by going at a steady speed on a flat surface, just very little wind, and just round in circles. It bored me rigid, but it was it proves the point. Because here's the thing:
I reckon that 18XL I could get down to about 20 odd miles.
Well, yeah, if you're actually thrashing,
I reckon so.
If you stayed on the road the whole way,
so.
Yeah,
I think so. Mid 20s.
But for a wheel like that, is it designed for that kind of power guzzling speed? Wheel. It's an amazing wheel.
It is amazing.
But does
that tyre is incredible. It's better than the Sherman tyre.
Really?
Yeah. So I was out tonight in that terrible rain. I was on forest trails.
Yeah.
For some of it. Don't even think about it slipping at all. Just go flying through thick mud. everything. I mean, you can if you go through the right mud where it's got compact underneath. In that, it's getting a little bit squirmy, but in all those situations, I'd have been off. I just know that because I've come off on stuff like that where you hit it, you're like, oh shoot, and it just slides out. This thing just goes straight through it.
Well,
Incredible
I was watching.
machine.
I think you mentioned on the video. I was watching your wet video, and you were just riding along through some wet trails there, and you came up to a bit of a ridge, and you just jumped off and got some air off it, and it just looked so effortless. It was a bit slowed down, I think, for a bit of stylish footage, but it looked so confident in that wet condition that you knew you were going to stick
brilliant.
it. Because sometimes if you're riding and it's wet and you do a little jump like that, you think, what happens when this lands? But
no, this thing is amazing. I think it'll, with the speeds have been going on in those tests, it's ripped through the rubber quite quick. So if you're on road, it gets hot, the tyre. Yeah. Well, like Sherman tyre gets really warm. If you do a long run and then feel the tyre, it's warm because of the amount of friction it's hitting as it goes along the pavement.
Well, that's basically screaming at you as you're riding along that thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes a heck of a noise, that.
Yeah, and this is quieter than that, which is quite good.
And the suspension, obviously, it sounds like it's effective. It looks like it does its job. Is it going to hold up? Is it something that looks like it's been well made?
Yeah, I think so. Don't see when it crashed that time, it's not got a mark on it on the suspension area.
Now you
crashed twice,
misled
didn't I?
me.
That's one
Yeah,
trip.
you did. Yeah. So you were on this one of your videos. You were taking it to depleting the battery, and we were in a conversation last time about whether or not people should
I
actually
upset you,
test
didn't
out.
I? Because you went all quiet.
I was saying to people that maybe just test out your wheels limits, just so you know how it behaves. And you say, no, it's a stupid idea. You'll fall off and you'll smash your face into the ground. Then you showed me a still of your footage. You're saying I did what you said and that smashed it into the ground.
No, I didn't. I showed you a photo of it, and you said, "Oh, I suppose you did what I said." And then I thought, "Yes, I did, Jonathan." You led yourself into that. Go back to that conversation. I was like, "Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's exactly what happened."
But actually, it's not what you did. You depleted the batteries, and
no, you put the idea in my head, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what I did," and it was your fault. I'm gonna make this whole big thing about it, and you're like, "Oh," and that was it then. And I thought, "Oh, he's all upset. I won't clear it up then."
wind him up.
Yeah, so. And then you thinking, "Oh my goodness, he's going to put it in a video and he's going to make me look stupid." He always makes me look stupid in all my videos.
First thing I did. Forget the rest of it. What's he said about me?
I got to watch this. And you're bitterly disappointed.
But I've never seen anybody doing what you did, because I guess it is stupid. But you were. It was tilting back to the point of unrideability, but you thought, I'll get on it anyway.
Well, it's got spikes, you see, spikes on the foot plates and those side pads. So you can just get up right on the end of the foot plates and then lean into the pads. So they'll hold you there just. Which I did last time in a 29-mile test. I did that, it got me home, just.
I mean, that's just... don't do that, people. That sounded like it was a...
No, so in my mind, I'm like, the app's showing 17%.
Oh, really?
Know I've done 29 before. Yeah. Soft Tuner was saying basically 0%. I was thinking, okay, I've used the app before and it's been accurate and got me 29 miles. I've actually physically been 29 miles. So I must soft tuner, the app I never usually use because you don't have to use soft tuner usually. That probably is dodgy. So I thought, oh, well, we'll carry on. And it was carrying on. And it went on for about another half a mile or whatever it was and then just shut off. It jumped forward and I wasn't, I was going really slow. And it smashed that handle. So I was doing about 3-4 miles an hour at the most. So I just stepped off it. It just shut off.
But because it's a pre-production model you've got, so the handle's a different construction, is it, in the final finished version? Because it seemed a bit brittle.
They say pre-production, don't they? But really, it's like final production. But they are going to now do some changes.
I mean, watch you fall off it in bits.
Well, it's interesting because they're on about taking that video down.
Are they really?
That's what he said to me. He said, "Can you take it down?"
Ooh, censorship.
Well, I said, "No chance." When have we ever done that? I was like, we're just totally open and honest. Don't really, we don't care. Why would that's why my response was, why would we do that?
Is that on the back of your range testing? Or is that
So there's a new firmware update 2.15, which I installed before I went out tonight, in fact. Doesn't seem to make any difference to the batteries at all. So the firmware is different. They've changed, I'll be on the video when I do it, but they had changed the way when you plug the charger in. It actually now shows you that flashing. So you can see the battery building up to fully charged. So they've changed that. And I also updated the BMS as well, because there's an update came out today, 28th, yeah. BMS came out. Tried that, and I was really hopeful that it would make a difference, but it doesn't. No, I don't think so. I didn't cane it tonight because it was tipping down with rain. So
Brilliant. Listen, Ian, we need to draw it to close there and move on to the next bit because we've been looking at the clock. We've been going for about 50 minutes here.
Yeah, we can finish now if you like.
We need to do
No worries.
It's time to challenge Ian. You can play along. It's starting after this stupid little song.
Right. Hang on. Thank you. Right, this is my favourite.
Enjoys that every time. Always laughs.
So this is the part where I managed to speak to your wife and your daughter and ask them some questions about you, and you've got to try and predict their answers and what you have impressed them with or what they think about you. So it's you trying to understand how well you know them, how well you think they know you. Does that make sense? No. So the first one is, right, I asked Amy, what is, and I think Ruby was there as well, so I think she contributed to this one. So what is Ian or what is Daddy's biggest failing? So what is? I haven't got one.
Ian's... So they must have just said no. I don't think I got one. Pretty sure that's the answer.
But
final answer.
What do you think they would have said?
Well, obviously they would say he hasn't got one.
So what would you think your biggest failing is?
I haven't got one.
Is arrogance a failing?
Absolutely not.
Go on,
Am I going to answer now?
Yeah. What do you think? That's the idea. It's not homework.
Would Ruby understand? How did you phrase it to Ruby? Would she have understood what a biggest failing is? She wouldn't know what that means, the biggest failing. Or how did you say it to her so I can kind of gauge how she might have responded? Did you go, is your daddy an idiot? And go like that? Yes?
I think if that's leading questions. No, what's the biggest failing? What does he do that's rubbish? What's he not very good at? Let's try that.
Is he not very good? I'm good at everything. People listening aren't going to get the sarcasm, are they? They're not going to get the sarcasm at all. They're going to think I'm serious. Let me think. I suppose I'm not good at letting other people be good. I'm just too good that I just take the limelight all the time for being so good. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what they say.
Hold on. Eating chocolate. Go for that. Eating chocolate or eating chocolate.
Why would you say eating chocolate? What's the big thing there?
I have no idea. Is it a bad sweet chocolate? Are you saying now? Another way you've said that makes me sound like it's a good thing to eat chocolate. And it's like, why on earth would you say eating chocolate? Chocolate's a good thing. Oh, sorry. Is eating chocolate a good thing?
I don't know. Let's hear what Amy and
is that a moral debate?
Said.
We should have that as a section, the moral debate.
Yeah, here we go.
No idea. His biggest failing is I have no idea.
No, I haven't got one. She's struggling.
Well, yeah, so she was struggling there at this point. So, yeah, you got half a point.
Did you give her hints and tips?
I gave her a long list. I went, what about? Let's carry on to
what one of these things, and you're holding them up.
Ruby interjected at this point. She joined in.
Putting me to bed. He goes, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
So bedtime routines, that's his worst, this is his biggest failing.
Actually, that's a good one, yeah. His bedtime routines. He goes up and he makes everybody wide awake.
Yeah.
When I've just got everyone to bed.
He attacks Jacob.
Yep.
He tickles him.
Yeah.
Tickles
him. Yeah.
So this is your bedtime routine. You go upstairs. You would go up.
Are you playing it again? We listened to it twice.
Shut up, that woman.
She's even forgotten. She's even given the answer and then forgotten again.
Yeah. So apparently your biggest failure is
Dory.
When you should be getting them to bed and calming down. Actually, you go up and wind the kids up. You are husband. Father of the year, aren't you?
Yeah, well, then you basically... Well, I go back downstairs and have a cup of tea.
You should say I'm a trained social worker by profession, and at one point Ruby said he goes up and attacks one of the boys. I forget what she said.
Attacks Jacob. It's like, whoa. Let's just clarify. Let's get your little notepad out. Right, so when was this?
Then she did clarify. So
this happened a lot?
You tickle him. So I went, okay, stand down. Police, back off, please.
Yeah. No, okay, so Ruby, she has a thing where she's asleep and it says, do the bedtime song. And so I go to sleep, and I'm holding her head, go to sleep. And I say, go to sleep, and I bang her head up and down on the pillow, and she's like,
Hang on, I've got my pen. Where's my pen gone? I've dropped my pen.
Where's my pen?
Okay, last one.
And so
today.
she always asks me to do that. So
We've been going for 50 odd minutes here. Right, the next one is this is to Amy. I was asking her, what is Ian's hidden talent?
have I got? I'm answering now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Ian's hidden talent.
Come on, what do you do that's
You got to choose better questions than
of?
this. What do I do that I'm particularly proud of?
Yeah, that perhaps people don't really know about.
I'm not. I shouldn't be proud. Because what comes before a fool?
Yeah,
Fool,
me on a unicycle.
F-A-double-L. So there's no proudness. No, not proud.
Okay, so you've no hidden talents. What would Amy think you've got as a hidden talent?
How can you have a hidden talent and not know it? I'm completely confused by that question. Because surely you would know it if it means I'm doing something I just don't know, or am I intentionally hiding it?
Yeah, intentionally hiding it.
So I know of it, but I'm hiding it and not using it.
Maybe
like
not proud
washing
of
up, really good at washing up, but pretend I'm terrible at it. So then I have to do the washing up.
it. So you're saying
Yeah.
washing up.
Okay. Being a good husband.
Okay,
Just a
yeah,
brilliant,
that
it's
is well
amazing,
hidden,
but I
that.
pretend
Yeah,
I'm not. It's really well hidden.
That's hidden. That's buried.
Never
that one.
manifests itself at all.
Well, let's see what Amy said.
Hidden talent.
Don't know.
Probably
He hasn't got any.
burping words.
Okay. Right, so apparently your talent is that you can burp words. Now, I think we need to see evidence of this. So I'd like you
I'll
to
drink some Coke next. So you should have said drink some Pepsi. I can't do it now.
All right,
I need
so
a bit
next
of
time on the
Pepsi or
show,
Coke.
I need you to burp a word. Maybe burp a jingle next time. Okay, Ian, that is it.
I can only
for
do
this
2 words. That's it. Maximum.
It's one of them's not off. Right, okay, this is the end of the show. Ian, thank you so much for your time.
what
It's
a
been a
shame.
real pleasure to have you on the show and to be in your company. What are you doing this week?
Yeah. We are arranging a date for when you come down and try out the S20. Still
When do you get
waiting for it. I message you. When did I message you?
Saturday. Yeah, I'll definitely get a date to come down. Yeah.
No response Saturday. Sunday, no response to it. Monday, still no response. Still time though. It's only 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, okay, we'll get a date to come down. I can
Still waiting for it to come in
wheel.
on the 21st of October, I think it was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't say which year, did we?
Yeah.
So we'll do that. We'll get together. We'll ride the S20. When do you get the shipment of the rest of them in, or the new ones that I can?
Not even produced yet. It's going to be delayed even longer now by the sounds of it.
Well, air shipments will not be easy if airspace is closed over certain parts of the world.
Well, not going by air because that's just stupid. Got a quote
Yeah.
today for a V5F to be shipped by air for a customer because they're on a boat, but they're trying to get some quicker. It's almost $400.
Well, it's because they're going to fly
That's
the long
mental.
way around now. They're going to go some really crazy route to
Probably,
get from China to the UK. Okay, and you're going to be editing my 650 kilometre review of the
I'll just
V12
love the video as it is.
in bits and pieces. Brilliant,
Yeah.
Ian. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, folks. Please do get involved. I would like people to send us readers' lives. I'd
Don't
like
do
people
it.
to send
Don't
us
do it.
jingles.
You hook you in.
Comment
You would never give
below.
up.
Please
Don't.
subscribe.
Like a
Like and subscribe to this.
Don't do it. It's just seeking
Yeah.
friendship. Don't
In
do
fact,
it. Don't do
here's
it.
the thing, right?
You
There's a
end
guy-
up giving your all. You'll give your all.
A guy
to
called
this.
Tim Lake has been a regular listener.
Says,
And,
please stop
I did-
contacting me.
Yeah, basically, to get a court injunction. Yeah. He lives not too far away from me, apparently. He lives in Bedford. And
Tim, did you know that John knew? He says,
So,
I've been watching you in your living room. I notice you don't tune in to my podcast.
people occasionally say, "Oh, I've seen your videos. That's Milton Keynes, or I live not far from there." So I actually had a free couple of hours one Saturday, and
Trying to
knew I
find
would have.
him and watch him.
So I just messaged Tim Lake and I said, Tim, if you're free on Saturday, do you want to have a little ride out together? It took about 18, 24 hours perhaps for him response to come through because he was panicking trying to find an excuse. He came up with, sorry mate, I'm moving house.
I am now moving house. Did it say I am now moving house?
So he's gone. And he's not
The housing
responded to
market
anything.
moves quickly.
He's not commented since, so and that's like
Moving
I've been
to Australia.
I've been a stalker. Oh, a friend! I can have a friend.
Friend, real friend. Come on.
Closer friend. Right,
I'm not
that's
your
it, folks.
friend.
Okay, folks, thank you so much. I'm going to play one more jingle and then it's goodbye. Benny
Can I
Bye
end
time.
before you do the jingle so it saves my ears or not?
No, you're going to stick to it.
The kids shout sick when they see me ride, looking cool as the way I glide. I should know better, I'm 52, but hey, I'm king of the
52
road.
and the rest. And the rest.
Nighty night, love you, bye.
Bye. See ya. Ta-da.